Good morning, welcome back. Listen, it's time. It's another season of the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. It is season 6 and I am back. I feel better than ever. I think I look great. Do y'all see, do you see that? Do you see that waist? Come on, I am snatched. For the gods, it feels good, but it just feels great to be back. I have missed all of you. So much has happened over the summer, so many things to talk about, so many things to share, and I'm excited about it. But this morning, I'm kicking it off in a big way. I am talking with a couple that I love and adore. What do you do when you are in marriage and in ministry? You're attempting to build your church, still retain your marriage, and make sure that that ministry is going first, raise a family, and more. Well, we're talking to Pastor and First Lady Jimmy and Andrea Rowson, talking about kingdom life as they celebrate their convocation. Also, I'm going to have thoughts about the Tulsa incident. I have a lot that I want to say as we talk about the legacy and the life of Terrence Crutcher and what happened on that highway that evening. It's coming up on the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. Your coffee cups are up, your pinkies are out. It's time to get lamped. It's season 6. Good morning.
Here we go. Lamp. The Jeffrey Lampkin. Everybody get up. Say what? Everybody get up. Come on. Lamp. The Jeffrey Lampkin. Motivation, inspiration, educating new revelation. Lamp. The Jeffrey Lampkin. Entertainment just for you. Smiling out 'cause God loves you. Jeffrey Lampkin. Somebody turn the lamp on.
Good morning, welcome back to the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. I told y'all season 6, we are back again and we're doing it bigger than ever. Now, one of the things that I found in the years of doing the Jeffrey Lampkin Show that there are some guests that have become, of course, your favorites, but they're my favorites as well. And I love to call them a friend. I love to call them a brother. I love to call them a mentor. And one of the things that really blows my mind is that each year we kind of evolve. So we bring them on the show, they come on, they give a word, y'all be like, well, when they coming back? Let them preach a sermon. This is not the sermon hour. This is the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. But he comes on and he gives such a mighty word, and for the first time, I really want to believe that this is probably her first time doing an interview on television. She is so sweet and so passionate, but First Lady Rowson came aboard. So I got Pastor and First Lady Rowson in the house. I just have to bow to both of you because I'm excited. I love y'all so much.
We love you
How
too.
are you all?
Doing well.
Wonderful.
Doing
Good morning to you. Let me say that.
morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, you know, one of the things, and I have to say this, and I'm really just sincere in what I say. A lot of times you see couples, and once they kind of like get married, they've been in it for a while, they're just done. I'm not going to do anything else. Y'all are coordinated. Y'all are together. To see you all interact with each other, you can tell that the love is there. Tell us about your courtship. How did you all meet, and how you all came together as one?
Tell the truth.
You tell me. I'm always telling the truth. I mean, I'm always telling the story. So why don't you tell me that?
Tell us.
The way we first met, we were having a national convention at Bible Way Church of Atlas Road.
Okay.
My father was the pastor at
Okay.
that time. I was walking through the dining hall with my, how old was Cedric?
I don't know.
With my 6-year-old son.
Okay.
He wasn't 6 at the time.
Okay, with my son. He was 5 or 6, something like that.
Shout out to Sad. We love Sad. We love Sad.
And my brother was sitting next to Jimmy in the chair, and I was walking through, and he asked my brother, he said, who is that? And my brother go, her? Right there? He said, yes. He said, that's my sister. And I think right then he was just smitten.
Come on, I love this story. That's a good story right there. I believe that's true,
Am
too.
I telling the truth?
You were smitten, weren't you?
Is your truth? Is that true?
I love it.
It's
So
the truth.
it's the truth. So you all met at church, and the beautiful thing is that he was already acclimated. His family knew, your family knew him, but y'all didn't really know each other at the time. So you all ended up somewhere along the way finding that connection and becoming married and becoming husband and wife.
Absolutely. I blame my brother-in-law, Randall. Matt.
So Matt, we call him Matt. So Mac was the one who did it. Okay,
Absolutely.
put it together. But it's been beautiful, and it's impacted so many people. What is the greatest thing you all will say that you found about marriage? Because there are a lot of young couples out there. There are a lot of couples out there, and one of the things that I say is y'all know I deal wholly when it comes to marriage and giving great advice to people, because there are people who, when you get married, you really want your marriage,
Absolutely.
but sometimes people don't know how to have a marriage, how to be married. So what is one of the, each of you, your single best advice that you would give to a married couple?
Well, I believe that the Bible says you should be no more twain but one. The two shall become one flesh. And most of the time, people think that that happens at the altar, but the becoming is a process. And so I think now, over almost 28 years, October the 8th would be 28 years for us, we have become and are still becoming one flesh. And that is a deliberate act. Marriage is work. Marriage is, it takes effort.
It does.
And it's not something that's just going to develop on its own. And I always tell people, you don't know me until you make me mad. And love is not an emotion alone, it's a decision. And marriage is a decision based on on information. And so I think that God has just kind of graced us to be able to weather a whole lot of storms and come through a whole lot of stuff. But
and that's the thing.
we made a decision.
The storms, you made a decision. And I often tell people that in marriage, you have to agree to work.
Absolutely.
And it has to take both parties working. It can't be one party that works. Both parties have to agree to work, because the storms are going to come. They're going to happen. So every day is not going to be, oh, this is a joyful day and I love you. They're going to be, every day I'm going to love you, but some days I'm not going to like you, because you just, you have teetered my nerves. I have teetered Harriet's nerves many times, but she still loves me, and we work through that. So here's the other, I guess, the other side of that, because you're married, you all are doing, you're at Bible Way, y'all are involved in Bible Way, and then the Lord calls you to do your ministry. And so you both decide to step out, which I would assume that was a hard decision for you, because here's Dad and all of the family and this wonderful ministry here, but here's the man that I love, and the Bible does tell me to leave my parents and to cleave, so I'm here. I am here. And now we're gonna start this ministry, and you've got so many things going on. You've got, I gotta support my husband. I'm leaving my comfort zone that I've been there for years, lifetime.
Absolutely.
And so I understand it. So you leave that. What was it like for you?
It was very difficult at first. And as you said, leaving Bible Way, I was born in Bible Way, I grew up in Bible Way, I still work at Bible Way. So I'll never forget the first Sunday that we started Kingdom Life Ministry. I said to my husband, I said, I am so scared, so afraid. Now let me back up, because I would not have left Bible Way if I didn't believe in the God.
The God in him. Ah!
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord.
And I said to him, and I say to him quite often, not only is he my husband, my friend, but he's truly my pastor.
Amen.
And because I came from a strong legacy, my father, I wouldn't have left Bible if I didn't believe that God was using my husband to start something that was going to be great.
Wow.
It's going to be great. And our first Sunday in the ministry, I said to him, I said, I am so afraid, not because it's about people, not because it's about numbers, but when you're sitting at a church where you're used to seeing thousands of people and you're going to start something. So I said to him that first Sunday, I said, well, how many people do you think are going to be there? He said, I don't know, I'm not sure. I said, well, we're just trusting and believing God. And from that day to this day, God has truly blown our minds.
I believe it. He has, because here's the thing. Not only, and this is why I tell people, you understand and you know for a fact that this was a God orchestrated thing. God truly planted you for such a time as this. How do we know? The evidence is in your ministry. Not only are you Kingdom Life in Orangeburg, but you're also Kingdom Life in Columbia. So you all have two locations. God has just, right, I know you're tired, because driving up 26, anybody who knows, driving back and forth between Orangeburg and then traffic, that's enough to tear your nerves by the time you get to church. Listen, we're going to talk about Kingdom Life when we come back and talk more about marriage, ministry, and the wonderful things that the Rowsons are doing here in Columbia, South Carolina. Keep it right here. Your coffee cups are up, your pinkies are out, and you're getting lamp. Good morning.
Jeffrey Lampkin.
Cannon & Graves is a proud sponsor of the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. Located at 1837 Wilson Road in Newberry, Cannon & Graves has the perfect certified used car for you. Their extensive inventory has something in every price range, and they can get everyone financed, regardless of credit. All cars come with a warranty to give you the peace of mind you deserve. Come see Steve and Reggie and find your new car at Cannon & Graves.
Good morning. We're back here on the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. Listen, put your coffee cups down. We're here with Pastor and First Lady Rowson this morning. And of course, before the break, we were talking about the fact that you all started Kingdom Life Ministries and the fact that you left from being the pastor's daughter and just a member of administration to now you're the First Lady of the church and you're supporting your husband. Was that a hard thing for you? And not the fact of opening the church, because of course you knew God led you to that, but the idea that I'm going to take my wife out of that comfort zone, but I know, like, I got to trust God that this is what he's telling me to do.
Oh, yes, it was very difficult for me. One of the hardest places you'll ever be is trying to embrace the will of God when you're not sure of it yourself. And you have to kind of be accountable to other people and for other people. So it was very difficult. I was an evangelist. I traveled all the time, and of course I had duties at Bible Way. And then all of a sudden now, God is, not all of a sudden, gradually, God is moving me into a place where I feel more of a shepherding call to than just the evangelistic call.
Tell us about Kingdom Life, guys, because you know there are a lot of churches out there. Everybody's saying, come to our church, come to our church. But if I had to put it in a question and just say, why Kingdom Life? What is it about Kingdom Life? What is it that I'll get at Kingdom Life that, because here's one thing I share. Every church is not for everyone.
Absolutely.
I can go and visit certain churches, but maybe they're too big for me. Maybe I need that more intimate environment. Maybe I need to be able to at least, get access to my First Lady, get access to my pastor, just to say hello or how are you? Or if we're taking selfies in the middle of service, I could actually go up and take one with my pastor or my First Lady. Why Kingdom Life? What is that special thing that you think, each of you, about Kingdom Life?
I'll let you go first.
Kingdom Life is truly, to me, a place of love. It's a close-knit family that we have, and just as you said, we're very touchable. You can come to us, we talk, we laugh, Pastor is in love with babies. He kisses your babies. He does it all.
And that new grandson, by the way.
Oh my God, he's absolutely.
Is it Chase?
His name is Chase.
Chase.
He's grandmama's baby.
He's grandma. Well, listen, grandma, I need you to start posting some pictures because granddaddy has confiscated Chase.
He takes my pictures.
Oh, for real?
Yes, I send them
He's
to
Papa's
him.
boy.
Papa's boy.
That's our argument.
I love
But
it.
nevertheless, Kingdom Life is a place where we feel like you can grow spiritually, that you will bond naturally with not only us, with the members there.
Right.
So it's a great place of love, of sharing, and just a camaraderie of people that, that
Just love
we
you.
absolutely love.
That's good. That's good.
I think it's a healthy balance. I really try to make sure that our worship experiences are balanced. The Bible says one generation shall praise thee to another. And I think that the church now is engaged in almost a civil war. It's the old church versus the new church. And I think that this experience when people come to church ought to be a healthy mix of all. It should be something for the young people, of course, and so we sing songs and we do things that cater to that generation, but we also have some seniors. And so I'm going to sing hymns.
Come on now. Come on for a good hymn. I love it.
We're going to have old school church as well as what we call new school church, and I think it's really just church the way God intended.
Do you find every now and then that itching, because you're a phenomenal musician, hands down.
Thank you.
One of the most amazing organists that I have ever heard, and I'm not the only person that will say that. I promise you, if I put it on Facebook, and musicians have said it before and will say it. So do you find yourself at times like, Lord, why you just didn't leave me over here on the organ? Let me just stay over here on these keys and do what it is that I do.
Oh, goodness.
Or has the passion just become so strong?
It's still a passion of mine.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I sort of abandoned it for a while, but God has kind of reignited it in me, and I feel it important. As a matter of fact, one of my mentors Pastor Andre Crouch. He told me one time, he says, "You took your hand off your music ministry too fast. Never take your hand off it." So I've kind of embraced that. And then another mentor, Pastor Marvin Winans, told me the same thing.
Y'all
so,
know I love Marvin Winans.
Yes,
Y'all know.
yes.
So talk to us. Convocation. Convocation is a good thing. See, y'all need to come to church. You might find that person that you love and that you adore. You might just see them walking by and be like, who is that?
That's right.
So talk to us about convocation, because it is coming up. People are going to be spiritually fed. They're going to be fed physically. There are great things happening. Tell us about convocation and what's taking place.
It's a great time of celebration where we commemorate what God has done over the year in our ministry. It will be 14 years for us. The first Sunday in October, we will celebrate 14 years of God's faithfulness toward us, and so we're very grateful for that.
So when you look back now, 14 years of God showing his hand, of you stepping out and saying, you know what, we're going to do this. And having those Sundays where it's like, did we make the right decision? Having those Sundays where I'm tired. Those days during the week where it's like, I don't want to do church. I just want to go on a date. I just want to go to the movies. Let's just sit home and watch, or just do those things. How do you keep going? Because there are people out there, I found a lot of people will start stuff. We'll start programs. We'll start different organizations and things. We'll start them and say that this is what we want to do. And then after 3 or 4 years, after that buzz is gone, then we kind of let it fade out. How do you have the tenacity to keep going, to keep saying, we're going to push, we're going to do this?
I think I feed off my husband.
Okay.
He's not. It's so easy to quit, but he's not a quitter at all. 14 years, it has not been easy, but it's been worth every minute of it. And I think the reason why we didn't stop, because we truly believe there's so many lives that God have in our hand, that are just in our hand. And if we stop, then that means they're not going to get fed spiritually. They won't have that. So because of that, I believe that quitting is not an option for us.
It's almost like the blood will be on your hands.
Absolutely.
And these people need you.
Absolutely.
For a time as this, they need you. So convocation is coming. No, go ahead.
And the other side to that I want to say is that God had to help me understand and put it in perspective that the Bible says, he that have begun a good work in you will perform it. Yes. And so every now and then I've got to remind him, as he reminds me, this is his church. So people have come, people go, but it's his church because he ordained it. He called it. I just happen to be the manager. That's really all I am. I'm the manager, but he is in fact the owner.
I love it. God. So talk to us, because of course it's happening, convocation is coming. Now you said someone's name earlier that you know I love and adore, the legendary Pastor Marvin L. Winans. He's going to be a part of convocation this year as well. And also your brother is going to be a part. And that's a beautiful thing. That shows that there's no bitterness. We all can work together. We can join together. We can do this together. So tell us a little bit. Convocation is taking place September 29th to October the 2nd. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about it. I know Sunday we got some services going on each night, and Pastor Winans is coming, and Pastor Jackson is coming, and I have, because both of them can preach. And I think one more.
Bishop Rudolph McKissick, my dear friend from Jacksonville, Florida, Bethel Baptist Church. He is an amazing, gifted leader, and God has used him to raise a great mega church. He will be with us on Thursday, the 29th. And then the incomparable Bishop Marvin L. Winans will be with us on Friday night. My dear friend for many, many years, over 30 years, we've been close. Lord. And I'm grateful for that relationship. And my pastor is coming on Sunday at 4 p.m. He's done it for 14 years, and I can't get him to stop doing it. And I'm so grateful.
And he doesn't need to, because I love when Bible Way and Kingdom Life come together.
Amazing.
That's an explosive Sunday. Now listen, all I need you to do is that when Pastor Marvin Winans comes, you hop on the organ, and he just sing about 3 notes. And then we're going to be good to go. We're going to make that happen, First Lady.
When he comes, that usually was what happens.
That's a beautiful thing.
I play, and he'll sing.
And this is happening at the Orangeburg location. Everything is going to happen at the Orangeburg.
Right there in Orangeburg.
Okay. And real quick, before we go, we're about to go, but on Sunday mornings, of course, there are services at the Orangeburg location and the Columbia location. Orangeburg is located
1172 Orangeburg Mall Circle. Orangeburg, South
And
Carolina.
service time is
and that's 9 a.m.
Okay.
We start there at 9.
Okay, and then once we finish at 9, then we come on up to Columbia,
That's right.
where everybody's already waiting and there, and we bring the cavalry, and then we have service at Kingdom Life, and that's we're on 2 Notch now.
2229, 2 Notch Road.
Outstanding. And service
11:30
there,
a.m.
11:30.
That's
Listen,
right.
there's God all over the place,
It is.
and you all are pouring it out and giving it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. Thank you. It is an honor. Y'all just don't understand. Final words. I know we got to go, Pastor. Final words. Feed the people. It's Sunday morning. Feed the people something. Just give them something. You know they always want a word.
Wow. Well, Jeffrey, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be sitting here on the couch with my wife and my beautiful friend, Jeffrey Lampkin. It's a wonderful thing. I was thinking the other day about how important loyalty is. I had been teaching a series at the church called Loyalty, and loyalty has a language. And in this hour, we must make sure that we communicate our loyalty. Faithfulness is different than loyalty, because I found out you can be faithful and not loyal. People can always be around you, but they don't all necessarily be loyal. But loyal, you cannot be loyal without being faithful. So let's be loyal.
Good God Almighty, somebody pass the offering plate. Listen, I know y'all getting dressed for church, but you still have to go to church this morning. Special thanks again to my guests, Pastor Jimmy and First Lady Andrea Rowson. It is an honor. Listen, make sure that you enjoy Convocation. Make sure you check out one of the services. And if you can't do that, if you can't steal away, make sure you just go on Sunday morning. They have services in both locations. Listen, when I come back, some final words, and I'll share with you what I've been doing all summer long. Your coffee cups are up and your pinkies are out. You've been lamped. Good morning.
Jeffrey Lampkin.
Kennan and Graves is a proud sponsor of the Jeffrey Lampkin Show. Located at 1837 Wilson Road in Newberry, Kennan and Graves has the perfect certified used car for you. Their extensive inventory has something in every price range, and they can get everyone financed, regardless of credit. All cars come with a warranty to give you the peace of mind you deserve. Come see Steve and Reggie and find your new car at Kennan and Graves.
Thanks for watching me and Brian each and every Sunday, but we have a new start time.
That's right, On Point on Watch Fox, seen every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Don't miss it.
Wow, what an amazing show. I absolutely love the Rowsons. Listen, make sure you go and check out Kingdom Convocation. It's happening in Orangeburg, South Carolina, September 29th through October the 2nd. And it's going to be an amazing time. And you should be there, of course. Pastor Marvin Winans and Pastor Darrell Jackson, also Bishop Rudolph McKissick, they're all going to be in the house. And it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Shifting gears for one moment, because of course, you know, I can't bring back my show without talking about the issues that affect you, that affect your household directly, issues that we are talking about in this world. And of course, this week, we are talking about the Tulsa, Oklahoma shooting of Terrence Crutcher. This story really shocked me. It took me back. It just really took me for a moment to kind of gather all of my thoughts and to place everything together. And of course, I wouldn't be Jeffrey if I didn't talk to you openly and honestly. Now, of course, we're going to have some video showing so that you'll just be able to see. This is actually the dash cam video of the incident that took place. Now, from what we've been told and from the reports that have been given, Mr. Crutcher's vehicle stalled in the middle of the highway. Now, officers were actually responding to another call when his vehicle was stalled in the highway. And what we could hear, there was a chopper that was above, and of course, there was the police who were on the ground. And from the chopper, we heard them categorizing him as a bad man. We also heard that he won't show his hands. However, the dash cam video shows us something totally different. It shows us actually him walking and complying with the officers. Now, here are things that, you know, I need some answers about. I think that you want to know things that I'm sure that maybe by the time this airs on Sunday, you would actually have the answers. I'm not sure, maybe some more information. But of course, remember, we do tape on Wednesday morning. So this is all of the information that we have as of now. They're saying that PCP was found in the car. There was a vial of PCP that was actually found in the car, and they stated that Officer Betty Shelby, who is a decorated police officer with the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Force, that she had recently went through a training that helped to identify those who are on PCP or these special types of drugs. And so she believed that his behavior, he was acting erratically. They also said that he was attempting to reach into his car so that he could access something. However, when you look at the dash cam video, you will see that his windows were actually up and that the vehicle stalled. So this is a father of 4. And here's what confuses me when I sit and I think about this. So he was tased. So you tased him. If you tased him and he went down on the ground, then what was the purpose of the shot? I still don't understand why was Terrence Crutcher, and I can't even say shot, I had to say brutally massacred. When I think about this, he really was gunned down and no one has a reason as to why. Because here's the thing, even if he was under the influence of PCP, when he was instructed by you all, maybe he wasn't, he was walking with his hands up. At no time in the video do we see where Terrence Crutcher was aggressive in any form or fashion. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out, because I want to make sure that you all are aware, things that sometimes we don't necessarily find or get the information about. Betty Jo Shelby, of course, she's 42 years old, and this is the officer who fired that fatal shot that killed Terrence Crutcher. When we look at it, although she's been decorated, she also has been accused of using excessive force. And one of the things that I want to point out, I want to say on my show right now, I want to make you aware, we're not here to vilify cops. We love cops. Jeffrey Lampkin has so many police officers, firefighters, first responders who are friends of his. So we love our cops. We love our police officers. That's not the point. The problem that we're having is that we're seeing that black men are being shot, are being killed with no explanation. So no one can explain to me what was it that he was doing that caused him to be taken away so brutally. Of course, Benjamin Crump, who is known to work with a lot of the families, he is actually involved on this case, and we're going to keep watching, but we won't stop talking about it. And to those of you, when we talk about Colin Kaepernick, and that's going to be coming up in one of our future shows, when we talk about Colin Kaepernick and the fact that he decides that he doesn't want to put his hand over his heart for the national anthem in his way of protesting police brutality. And for those of you that wrote your many letters and said all of the things that you said, where are you now? Because this is a clear sign of why he's protesting and why so many others, they're just saying, I want our voice to be heard. We've tried everything else and you haven't taken notice. So we're going to do what we need to do now for you to take notice. When will we stand up and speak boldly about what is happening? Listen, join me on Facebook Live. You know I'm going to go live. I'm going to talk more about this. We're back. Next week is going to be another amazing show here on the Jeffrey Lampkin Show, and we are excited about it. Listen, have an amazing week. Your coffee cups are up, your pinkies are out, you're getting lamped. And remember, because God is the greatest power, you shall not be defeated. Have an amazing Sunday. Good morning.
Here we go. Jeffrey Lampkin. Everybody get up. Say what? Everybody get up. Come on. When Jeffrey Lampkin. Motivation, inspiration, educated new revelation. When Jeffrey Lampkin. Entertainment just for you. Smile and laugh 'cause God loves you. Jeffrey Lampkin. Somebody turn the lamp on.